We've got Stevie English here, and welcome. Thanks. We're just going to ask Stevie some questions about how Booked Out Fox is going for Stevie.
First of all, thanks for having me. And sort of salons generally aren't massive fans of information. You know, we feel that cutting hair, colouring hair is all we need. And so when we first brought Booked on Fox in, I wasn't really sure what I was getting. And I can honestly tell you that my wife was very fearful of it as well. You know, it wasn't just but why are we, what do we need another program for or something like that. So, but in terms of, I would say we've been running it almost a year now. You know, and so and so the data information now is getting better and better, if that makes sense. So, I guess from it's the IA portion of that, and it's getting smarter and reading, and now it understands our client behaviors and patterns, and so that's really where where we start seeing our wins.
You said something really important before, which is, it's just another software. Look, that is the first thing that comes to people's, minds. Like, I'm a hairdresser too, I understand. You always got people, sales reps and salespeople coming in trying to sell you something. But, now that you've actually used it, I'm sure how's it feel? Like, you said your wife, how's she feel about it now? And yourself, basically.
Massive fan. And I think just in terms of lead generation, in terms of information as well, and the one for me was, how the percentage of new clients that don't come back. And that is now something that we're really working on in our business model or our staff around, because it was far too high for my liking.
Right. So how Booked Out Fox helped you get those clients back?
So in terms of, obviously, for anyone who doesn't know what it does, it correlates that information, and then thank you. Could you? Sorry, excuse me 1 second. I've just got.
Okay, no worries. We all run busy salons.
Just the right hand side. So there's a little bit on the back, which is right, and then the right hand side. Sorry.
You can give some education in here too while you're there. It's great.
Sorry,
things like client retention, getting new clients, coming back. Basically, Booked Out Fox is obviously a tool that sends out SMSs and nurtures customers to come back. How have you seen it? Obviously, you've seen the results of it actually doing that, right?
Yes, absolutely. And I think that the last thing that I wanted as a business, in any business, you don't want to be seen as needy, and you don't want to be seen as harassing customers, guests, clients coming, but that's the furthest thing from the truth. Like what we're seeing is people really actually engage. Well, actually, I do need to get my hair done. Thanks for the text message. Yes, it was 5 months. Can I book in? And the dashboard and the way it lets us know, it's fantastic. It's been and a surprise, I guess, because I think you everything about business. I don't think I know everything, but you think you have a good handle on it. And then all of a sudden, this is something that, oh, all right, so it's great.
Okay, fantastic. Tell me about client retention. So, we found, analysing millions of bookings made across Australia, that, the number one reason why salons and barbershops and spa fail in the first 2 years is actually client retention. If you haven't got 65% retention in your business actually won't survive. How have you found client retention since you've got Booked Out Fox?
I think, obviously, in today's world as well, client behavior patterns are changing as well. I think if I think even 5 years ago, where people weren't booking online or they weren't as tech savvy, I think client retention was much higher. I think what's happened is because of, I can book online, or I can, so that rebooking button or click that used to go through in businesses at front desk is now not there. Right. And so retention is more and more important than it's ever been, but it's just the client behavior patterns. But what we noticed was if someone is in a 6-week cycle, 7-week cycle, 8-week, whether it's 12-week, everyone's got, and we've got the guests that come in once a year, but it's about understanding those patterns. And if they miss, whether it's 1 year, twice a year, every 3 months, but when they miss that pattern, that's where Booked Out Fox comes in and goes, hey, hang on a minute, you should come and see us.
Great. And I'm glad you said that, because the difference to set and forget. So people that use set and forget marketing, it's actually a bulk send out SMS. So basically, if you can only set it at 4, 6, 8, 10, or whatever you set it. But if a customer, you said something important there, where it learns the customer behavior, because Booked Out Fox does have an AI. It understands the individual customer journey and frequency. So like you said, you had a customer that comes in once a year. Booked Out Fox will know it comes once a year, and it won't send them an SMS at 6, 8, 10, 12, where the set and forget.
So it won't annoy them all the way through. And I think that's the last thing you want as a business owner or a salon. You don't want to harass your guests. You want to offer the service. You want to be there for them, but you don't want to be like, hey, what about us? Hey, what about us? Whereas, and I think that's where Booked Out Fox really helps us. Yeah.
So it's great you said that, because a lot of objections I've heard from other salons, and I'm glad you addressed it, is that even for myself, when I own my businesses, like, the last thing you want to do is keep sending heaps of text messages to customers. But that's why the difference with Booked Out Fox, it does learn the customer journey, and it does send the messages based on that customer frequency rather than just harassing them. So you're actually sending less messages, and it's great.
Yeah. 100%. And I definitely see the benefit the longer we've had it as well. Great. Because obviously the information becomes more relevant. Whereas, because then the brain of Booked Out Fox, if you like, can then understand those patterns much better.
Correct. Yeah. And as running a business, I mean, what you can't measure, you can't improve. So, the more data you have, and you've got someone, you've got a software that is, backing you up, and it's automated. It happens when you sleep. It's amazing for our industry, because we work so hard behind the chair. Now, just the last question. Look, Booked Out Fox sends reports every month. So for the month of October, what was the value that Booked Out Fox brought to your business?
I think it was 7K.
That's right.
Of lead generation, but then clients would then come back in, guests would come back in, and done. So that, for any business is no small amount of money, and that's down. And so it really is fantastic, right, in that space.
Well, look, thanks, Stevie. Is there anything else you want to say? Look, thanks for your time. It's great meeting you also, and great that you're a great supporter of Fox. Yep.
No, mate. Cheers. Thanks, Pablo. Really appreciate it.
Take care, mate. Have a great day.